Alright, welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to talk about and review the Denon X1800H receiver that I myself have about 8 months now, so I have a pretty good experience with it. I'm going to talk about the technical overview, some of the good things, the bad things. I'm going to talk about the price, some alternatives, cheaper and more expensive, and I'm going to give you my advice. Here you can see my own setup. It's pretty basic. It's a 5.1 setup. Not everything is pictured here because I want to leave something for future videos and future reviews. Technical overview, here are some of the key technologies. Pretty much all your basic and more advanced stuff is inside of this receiver, like Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, AirPlay, Alexa, Spotify, Google. Pretty much everything is featured here. In the box you get an Odyssey microphone, remote, the receiver itself and a bunch of cables. So nothing special about that. The microphone I will talk about later in this review. So if you can see here, it has 6 HDMI ports, of which are 3 8K. It has 2 bass ports, so you can add 2 subwoofers. You can run this for the speaker layouts. You can run this at 7.2 or 5.2.2. So if you don't know what that means, I will make a more in-depth video about that, but it's the amount of speakers you can connect. You can use 7 surrounds, 2 subwoofers, or 5 surrounds, 2 subwoofers, and 2 Atmos or height channels. So the good parts are there's a seamless setup. I found it really easy. I didn't have a lot of experience with receivers, and I think I set it up in about maybe a couple of hours. The main task is running the cables. That's a hassle, but if you complete that, then it's an easy setup, especially with the Odyssey microphone that you can see here. It's really easy. You plug it into this hole here, then you have a little stand for it, and you put it where you're gonna sit. And it makes a sound on every speaker that you connected, and based on that it knows which decibel levels it should give each speaker, so that all the sound reaches you on an equal level. There is a bit more to it, but which I will talk about later in this video. So I ran a 5.1 setup, as I said, which is plenty enough for this speaker. You can expand, so most people will start with 3.1 or 5.1. This receiver is very good for that because you can expand to 7.2 or 5.2.2. We'll talk about a little bit in the alternative section of this video. They can also run 80 watt speakers, which is, I doubt you'll find a speaker that has more than 80 watts. And if you buy more than 80 watt speakers, then you're probably looking at a different price point for a receiver as well. Some of the bad things, one main problem I have had one time was that the menu was a bit buggy. I couldn't open the menu. It defaulted to the HDMI, and then it defaulted to the Denon home screen, even if I didn't have an HDMI connected. So I couldn't change settings basically, and that made me need to reset the entire receiver, which was a little bit of a hassle. But after that reset, I think 4 or 5 months ago, everything has been running perfect, no problems. Sometimes it's a bit glitchy switching from HDMI, but that can also be because of my TV. But that's basically no bad things about this receiver, except for the price a little bit, which I will talk about right now. As you see here is an Amazon price history graph. And you see that it can get pretty crazy with the prices. I would say if you can get it between 500 and 600 euros or dollars, depending on where you live, it's a good deal. If you're going above that, I will wait because there are a lot of sales. Or you can look at some of the newer receivers. I plan to make a video about that as well, to list some of the newer receivers that have come out. But if you can find this for under 600 or around 500, even better. And then I think this is the best bang for your buck receiver out there. Some alternatives for this receiver are the cheaper S670. The main differences are it is 5.2, so you can't add the 2 speakers like to get 7.2 or 5.2.2, so no Atmos support. So if you want that sound coming from above, that's not possible. It's also 5 watt less, which isn't a lot, so it shouldn't be a problem. It also has a little bit of a worse version of Odyssey, but not that much. In the more expensive option has a better version of Odyssey, and that difference is a lot more. So the S670 and the X1800H are a lot the same. Only if you want to expand to more speakers, it's the main difference, I would say. The price point is then as well not that different. It's between 400 and 500. I would say is a good deal for this receiver. The more expensive option is the X3800H. This can add a lot more speakers. You can run 9.4 or 11.4 with pre-outs. That means you need something else to run the speakers, but they can get a signal from the receiver. So that's giving you a lot more options to use in like 7.2.4 for example, or 9.2.2. All the HDMI ports are 8K, so if you have a lot of devices that can support 8K, which I doubt because 8K is not standard, and I think in the upcoming 5 years not a lot of movies are going to be coming out on 8K. They have a way better version of Odyssey. I doubt the usual people would see it, but on paper at least it's a lot better. It's a lot better. I myself haven't heard it, but I will link a video down in the description if you want to check a more detailed review of Odyssey and the different versions. It also has 105 watt speakers. You can go a lot louder, so it would be good if you're sitting more far away. Like if you have like a home cinema in your basement, then this would be a better option. It also has 3 HDMI outputs, so you can run one to your TV, one to a monitor if you want that. I don't know who would use that, but it's possible. It is a lot more expensive, about almost double or triple, between 1500 and 1600. So maybe on sale you can get it for a little bit less. So this would only be a good option, I say, if you want to use 9 or 11 speakers in your system and you have more than 2 subwoofers. So my recommendation would be to get the 1800H or get the S670 if you don't need the more speaker count. I myself chose for the X1800H because maybe I'm going to upgrade to 5.2.2 or add some side speakers in 7.2. So if you start with 3.1, I think maybe I'm going to add 2 speakers in the future, then the S670 is perfect for you. It has almost the same support. So yeah, it's basically check the price, because if you can find both for 500, then of course you're going to get the 1800H, but I'm going to leave it up to you. There are more videos coming in the form of more home theater reviews and also some explanation videos. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, don't forget to like it as well. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Have a great day.